Mm, delicious. There we go. Today, I don't know why that's funny. Today, we're going to draw something fun. You know, something that I hear often as an artist. When I show people my work or they see me sketching and they come over to check it out and they say something along the lines of, wow, that's really good. I can barely draw stick people. And I thought I would talk about this today because it's funny for a couple of reasons. You can draw stick people. I promise you can draw stick people. It's so easy. Look, it's a little circle and you've got a couple of lines here. That's it. It's a stick person. It's funny for another reason because uh, after I graduated college, I worked at a coffee shop for 5 years looking for a job in my field. The first creative job that I got was drawing stick people. It's not a joke. I drew stick people. Uh, this was a long time ago. It's more than 10 years, 15 years maybe. But I was one of the artists on a little game called Draw a Stickman Epic. And it was for mobile phones mostly, but it also came out for Steam for the computer. So you could download it on Android and iOS and play it on your PC. Um, and it was a fun little thing. And the whole point of the game was drawing your little stick person um, and walking around having adventures and solving puzzles. And I got to do a lot of fun stuff on this game, and I really enjoyed my time working on that project. I created so many stick people. It's not even funny. So when people say comments like, I can barely draw stick people, you can. You just need to put in the mileage just like everything else. You just need to put in the time. So I thought it would be funny if today we drew some stick people. Now, how do you do this beyond just your normal stick person, right? We got incredibly creative with our stick people, and I want to show you some of the things that me and the other artists did on this project. So, for example, take this guy. Look at him. He has got character. Um, how would you turn this guy into a stick person? Well, we're gonna try. First, I'm gonna do it this way. Let me duplicate this stick person. I'm gonna duplicate a few because we're gonna do a couple of these and just make a bunch of them. And we're gonna size these up because I really want to see what I'm doing. And I will turn those into a lighter shade of blue and maybe pull down the opacity. I still want you all to see what we're doing. All right, so up here, I've got my Stickman reference, and down here is where I will put the drawings, um, just so I have a guide to work from, right? So I've got my Stickman template underneath. Now, the first thing that I notice about this dude, there's a couple of things. I usually focus on the head, the facial features. Are they wearing some kind of a hat? Like, let's get those things down. So This guy, he's got like all three. So let's draw his little hat here. And we're keeping it sketchy and loose because it's a stick man. It doesn't have to be framed Mona Lisa style art. It's a stick man. So we're keeping it so loose. And I'm not going to draw his nose. That feels like a little much for this style, but I will draw his beard. And he has a very well kept beard here with a little soul patch here, it looks like. All right. And no ears. I don't know why, but we typically did not put ears. Like noses and ears, they just look funny on a stick man. And as far as the jacket goes, you know what? I'm gonna put a little bit on his jacket. And his sweater. There we go. And I think he's got like some khaki style pants. And he needs some hands here. And feet. Ta-da! That's it. So that's one. That's one. Let's draw oh boy, how would you draw a stick figure of something like this? I think that you could do it. This is pretty complicated. I think this could be a good challenge. So she's also facing kind of three-quarter from the camera. So we're gonna have to turn it um, to be facing more forward. So for this one, I would start with the headband here, right? You can even take something complicated like this and turn it into a stick man. And let's see. Yeah, this one is a bit more tricky, but I think if we simplify a lot of this, I'm not going to draw everything around her belt because I think that would just get really complicated really fast, and I want to keep this simple. It is just a stick man after all. And she's got boots there, and it looks like her hair kind of goes off into a little ponytail. So, yeah, there we go. Look at that. We did it. Some a complicated outfit like this can even be turned into a stick man. Um, or something like this. Look at that jacket. Look at this coat. We could turn this into a stick man. It's all about just simplifying everything. And this skill, you know, at the time when I was working this job, I was I was a little frustrated because the style was so simple, and I thought I could feel myself picking up this extremely simplified, really sketchy style. And I thought, oh no, this is going to stick with me for a long time, possibly forever. And I was a little worried about it. I honestly was, because I thought this is not a style that is really going to help me out in any other career except drawing stickmen. And I was just worried. Come to find out, it has stuck with me basically forever. But it has been so useful in a lot of different areas. So it turns out that I was worried for nothing, which is typically the case. Typically the case. We worry about things that are no big deal, that usually end up helping us later on in life anyway. All right. Yeah, there we go. There's another stick person. All right, let's do a couple more. Um, how about, how about, do I want that armor guy? That might be a little much. How about this dude here? He's got some fun things going on with his outfit. Yeah, that's a fun hat here. And maybe be a little bit creative with the eyes. We want to show that he's an older guy, but not with too much detail. And these pockets are near the bottom of his jacket here. Oh, and it looks like he's got another pocket up here. That's interesting. And he's got some rubber boots, which look pretty fun. There we go. Like, isn't that fun? Look at all those stick people. All right, you know what? Let's do two more. We've got room. How about this guy? I don't think I've drawn him before. He's got a fun little hat. And the thing is, simplifying anything is like, this is such a useful skill when you're learning to draw, learning how to simplify the shapes, because you can't, even when you're doing like realistic images, you can't draw everything. There's just too much detail. Unless you are aiming to be one of those hyper realistic artists that draw like photograph style illustrations, which, man, those are You are an impressive bunch of people. I tell you what, I have not been able to do that. Uh, it's so much. It's so much. I'm impressed when I see that stuff. Most of the time, though, when I am working on a project, if it's design or illustration related, you are simplifying in some way. You are taking information and simplifying it in in a way that is easily understood, so that when people see your drawing or your design, whatever it is, they can know instantly, like, what is it that I'm looking at, and what is the client trying to communicate to their customer. There's a lot of simplification that happens. So this, excuse me, this skill is so useful in a lot of areas. Um, and it's come in handy throughout my creative career. Yeah, look at that. This is just ridiculous. I think they're getting more and more detailed as we're going on. All right, let's see. Maybe one more. How about this guy with the funny hat? Yeah. And we'll draw, let me see. This one's interesting because we're seeing him mostly from the back, but we have been drawing these stick figures straight on from the front. So I want to keep that up, which means I kind of have to do a little bit of uh, internal, like, let's twist this around so we're viewing him from the front. And I think what I'm going to do is I will draw his hat first, which goes around his shoulders. It looks like in a way that's kind of like this. Um, we're being creative anyway, so it doesn't have to be. They're stick figures. It doesn't have to be accurate. Look at that. Yeah, that's pretty good. And then he's got this tunic with a little belt and his little sleeves and his arms, hands, and he's got some kind of a pack. Let me draw that. Like a bag of something that he's holding. And his little tiny shoes. There. Nice. We did it. Ta-da! Look at those stick figures. Oh my goodness, that's crazy. And that's a lot of fun. This is a cool exercise, actually. I recommend that you try this. Give it a shot. Draw stick figures and simplify your photo references to the point of a stick figure. Um, this skill, like I said, when I was first drawing like this, in this style, I thought, oh, this is gonna ruin me and it's gonna stick with me forever. It is so useful in a lot of areas. I can't even tell you how many different ways I have used that skill of simplifying this complex idea or photograph or reference into something easily identifiable, like a stick man. So I recommend giving it a try. It's so much fun. I hope that you all enjoyed this and I hope that you got something out of it. If there's anything that you would like me to talk about or explain or explore some kind of creative technique or whatever, anything, let me know. I would love to hear your thoughts down in the comments. And if you're interested in the brushes that I used, I was using Jeff's Grainy Pencil from my custom Procreate brush set, which is linked somewhere in the comments or the description. Go and check it out. If you want to support the work that I'm doing, hit that like button, comment, share, subscribe, all the social media things. And I really appreciate you coming by and spending time with me today. And I will see you in the next video.